Whoa! Look at that!
This is a big fish.
Oh my God!
On an earlier episode of Good Fishing, we took you to Dogtooth Lake in the Kenora region of northwestern Ontario for big walleyes. How you like that? First fish of the day, huh? My premise was basically that Ontario has so many amazing fishing lakes to explore that sometimes I wrestle with the choice between exploring new ones versus going back to gems that have been so good to me in the past.
Oh! Look at this cow!
So I returned to Dogtooth Lake to see if the walleye fishing there could possibly live up to the memories I had of it from the early 1990s. About 25 inches of a fat fish. Combined, the Dogtooth Kilvert chain are clear water Precambrian shield lakes that offer endless shoreline, shallow and deep water rocky structures in plenty, and an amazing forage basin, lots of deep water over 120 feet. That kind of depth is a huge factor in sustaining big fish populations, which is why I've spent so much time here in the past. That's what we're in Dogtooth for. And I think that's what God made Ontario for. A strict catch and release ethic, practiced on trophy fish for so many years, also hugely adds to the chain's big fish resilience. Look at the size of this cow. Oh, and I'm not a fish kisser, but I'm close. How did the walleye fishing compare to days of old? I was so happy to report that during early season, mid-June timing, Dogtooth is still simply fantastic. Beautiful Ontario walleye. That's exactly why I couldn't help myself from double dipping at Dogtooth last year. I just had to go back again under a later summer timing, which is one of my favorite periods of the year to search deep water Ontario trophy walleyes. So, join me back up in Ontario walleye heaven for a whole new fishing adventure where the key word we'll be looking for is big. And the polar craft has been launched.
Clear for takeoff.
Oh, there's some.
Beautiful day.
One really fun benefit of being on TV for so many years is being recognized when I'm out on the road, especially kids. Here you are, sir. What's your name? Hello, Nick. You having a good time up here? Yep. Ontario's a special place, isn't it? Oh, it's just, I love it. It's great sharing a few minutes, getting to know each other, signing a few autographs, or talking about fishing. That's perfect. I'm still gonna watch it though. My goal for what we're doing here is to do my darndest to get you into a walleye over 10. Though Seth McGinn and I had arrived a little late in the day, we still wanted to catch the last few hours of fishing.
Beautiful up here.
So we didn't hesitate to get out onto the water as quickly as we could.
There's that rock there on the air side, it drops off, then it comes out in front, a bit of a shelf, and it comes way back this way.
Well, we got the wind coming in, it should be perfect for this. However, after giving traditional rigging and jigging methods a try without success, I thought since we were on short time, why not try switching things up a bit? In case you're wondering what we're doing, we're up here at Dogtooth Lake in Ontario, and man, we tried fishing reefs with rigs and jigs and live bait and so forth and nothing. And this lake is deep, but it's like so many lakes in Ontario that have lake trout in them. They have a lot of ciscos and whitefish. And while I spend a lot of time suspended out here eating those things. So we're trolling crankbaits right now that are running 25 feet or so. But they'll be out over the middle of nothing. Everybody thinks in terms of having to fish structure for walleyes. Walleyes have no problems whatsoever being suspended or going after suspended bait fish, and the ciscos and the whitefish almost always are. Man, I love the quiet, fuel-efficient trolling power of my Honda Kicker, and nothing could possibly work better for this method of fishing where controlling boat speed is so crucially important.
I guess they go down to about the right depth, huh?
Well, that sure didn't take long now, did it? So far, so good. Big head shake.
Oh, it looks like it's a decent size.
coming to this side. Nice fish. Oh, he's not a giant, but he's a really nice fish.
Oh yeah, nice. Oh yeah.
Oh, nice. So what's it feel like when they bite?
Boom, boom.
So I'll know it.
You'll know.
Oh, looks like 25, 26.
Great looking fish.
Yeah, what do we go, 100 feet? Well, good morning. It's our first morning here at Dogtooth, and weather's changed. We're gonna taking off early and gonna stay late and see what we can do. Turn these walleyes crank. It's a good sign that the moon is up right now. Continuing now in Ontario at Dogtooth Lake Lodge, we're finally out for our first full day of fishing. Now, part of what makes the ride so nice in here is the boat itself and the way the hull is designed. A good portion of it is these smooth move seat bases that we have. The smooth move bases are the greatest thing to save your back when you're bouncing waves. Why don't I tell you a little bit more about my guest today, Mr. Seth McGinn, who I mentioned only in passing earlier on. Another big fish. For those of you who watch Chris's Kitchen, no doubt you've seen her working with Seth McGinn's can cooker to make all kinds of great tasting foods.
And it's looking pretty good.
What you can do with a can cooker is pretty much only limited by your own imagination. Basically, the can cooker is a steam convection system that reduces cooking time dramatically while infusing the flavors of all your ingredients into your dishes as it simmers. It can be used anywhere, anytime, using any heat source, so you're not limited to cooking just in the kitchen. Just dump in all the ingredients that you like, bring it to a simmer, and walk away. In an hour or less, your complete meals will be perfectly done.
They're all done, Mom.
But not only is he the inventor of this amazing method of cooking, Seth is a great guy and super avid outdoorsman who loves to hunt and fish as much as anyone I know. So that's how this trip together came to be.
Geez, it's clear though. I mean, and clean.
Oh yeah.
It was actually my first time up there fishing Canada, to go up there and strategically go after big walleye. I mean, just from pulling in, it was breathtaking. I mean, granite around you everywhere and trees growing out of it. I mean, it was just so picturesque and clean and gorgeous. I mean, to say the least, that's probably an understatement.
Okay, let's get a start to a good day. Let's get a couple right away.
The reason I was so eager to come back at a later summer timing is I dearly love searching out big walleyes on deep rocky structures. Oh, that's nice.
Net?
I can get it.
From the pink jig?
And at a lake like Dogtooth, if you look in the right kinds of places and experiment to narrow down the best presentation, generally those big walleyes will be right where they're supposed to be, doing what they should be doing. This is a nice walleye.
Yeah.
In general, walleyes may be tougher to find in the late July period, but I think big fish locations are a little more predictable than earlier on in the year.
Good job, buddy.
Thank you, sir.
Beautiful fish.
Not so bad, huh? On each trip anywhere, I always go through the same motions, and that's what we've been doing. We've looked at multiple types of locations where we predicted the walleyes should be and tested the waters with a variety of baits and techniques.
Oh, nice. Good job.
Thank you, sir. We have been catching some nice fish, but none of the size that we came here for.
That's a lake
That's
trout.
a lake trout.
A lake trout right over there in 20 feet of water.
What do you think? We got cloud cover coming, we got rain coming.
I think we could almost hit any of the reefs today because things are changing a bit. There's no two ways about it, you know.
Back out after them, meaning those Dogtooth trophy walleyes we've been searching for, but have yet to find.
We've had Dogtooth Resort for many years and seen the lake and the resort itself develop over the years, especially the fishing.
Hey, it's an eater.
Eater walleye?
On the crankbait you caught that?
We always had large walleyes in this lake, but the numbers of smaller fish seem to be hurting a little bit for guys that want to catch a bunch of eaters.
First walleye I've ever caught off a crankbait.
As lots of guys have their firsts here, but it's usually their biggest fish. They brought in rules, the ministry, and the rule was nothing between 19.7 inches and 25.5 inches. Oh yeah, well, I'm pretty sure. Which helped the fishing immensely. All those are the best spawners, and it really produced way more fish in the lake over the years. It's probably too big. Since then, the rules have been changed back because the lake is doing quite well.
Oh yeah.
I had one too.
The rule now is 1 over 18.1 inches and the rest under. And they fight hard. Eh?
They do.
Over the years, I've seen as these slot-sized fish developed and got bigger and bigger, we had more numbers of 27s, then more numbers of 28s, 29s, 30s, more numbers of everything in the lake.
Oh, here's a nice one. Right here's a real good one, 19 feet.
Let's get them.
Oh yeah.
There's a
You see
couple
'em?
on there on the graph. So, and now it's quite easy to go out and catch some really good fish.
Give it some.
Here's another one.
Ooh, babe, I'm getting a bite. Now reel it, reel it.
Babe is gonna get
He's full, so let him
bit.
have it.
Oh, there it. Oh, I might be snagged.
No,
No.
that's a fish, I think. Oh, that looks like a decent one. Take your
What
time.
you got, Seth?
I think we got one.
Looks
Oh,
like
yeah.
It's a decent one. He's got some. I'll get my line in so I can get the.
His rod's bent like a pretzel. He says, I think I got one. I think you do too.
Well, I thought I was snagged there for a
Well,
minute.
He's never had a big fish on, walleye, so.
Wait, this one ain't coming up though.
Oh, he's got some weight to him, yes. Nice, good job, Seth. I'd say over the years, the fishing has improved immensely. We see way more bigger fish and way more little fish.
Oh
yeah,
look at that.
He's big.
Extend that handle out another pull on the net. There you go.
He's big.
Oh, and you're not rod tips.
Hey, lift him up. Lift your rod up. Tip here. Let's get. Oh, okay. Oh, look at how fat.
Holy buckets.
Most cases, people that come here the first year, definitely a lot of people have had their biggest fish ever the first year.
Oh, look at that.
That is a beauty. Wow. That's a beauty.
Thanks for the help.
That's a nice fish.
Look at how gold it is all the way.
27 inches, 28.
Yeah, it's in
I
around
don't know. It's a beaut.
there. Really nice. Some people have found it a little tougher because it's a little different kind of fishing because these fish are bigger, they're well fed, so in a lot of cases you have to kind of finesse these fish.
Nice.
I got a hog. This is a hog. Some cases they'll come up and just bang it, no problem. Oh, nice. I don't know yet, but I think he's got to be in that, 27 class anyway. I'm thinking.
That on the floating rig?
Yeah. With a night crawler.
You should be able to catch a few fish enough to eat and certainly see some bigger fish. When he comes back around, get him. He's a good size. Really good size. We don't want to lose him. Whether it'll be the big one, I don't know, but definitely you're going to see some fish between 25 and 28 inches. I mean, that's, I think that's our kind of average on this lake. This is what we've been looking for. Okay, he's coming up now. There he is. You get him now, Stein. Woo! Nice. Beauty.
Yeah, that's a big fish. Going with a slow presentation of jigs or a floating rig, crawler, and 3/8 ounce slip sinker, we eventually got into some bigger walleyes.
That's
Look
a
at how
nice
yellow he
walleye.
is. All the way up. Look at how yellow he is.
And you know what's even more fun than catching one yourself? It's watching someone who's never caught a fish of a lifetime in the beautiful wilderness of Ontario doing so.
He's not wanting to come up, but that's all right.
That's a big fish.
Big, big fish.
Whenever a pattern comes together, it all keeps getting better and better. That is, if you're at a place like Dogtooth Lake, where big walleyes are present to be found.
Here he comes. See him, see him, see him. Oh! Boy, that's what we came up here for, huh?
That's what we came up here for, Seth. Good job, man. You did great.
First couple days, I didn't think we had a chance of getting her done. But today is gorgeous. First couple days was difficult fishing. They've had storms come through there. I mean, the guy can figure it out. It's like he's half fish.
I knew there was more big fish up there. I seen them. I marked them.
If this didn't work, there was a reason for it, and if they were so deep, there was a reason for it, so we rigged up and finally made it happen. Thank you.
Oh, thank you. Good job, man.
That's why it's called Good Fishing with Babe.
As it turned out, just as expected, a good time was had by all at Dogtooth Lake Lodge. Indeed, we came away with exactly the kinds of trophy walleye memories that brought us there in the first place.
He's not wanting to come up, but that's all right.
That's a big fish.
Big, big fish.
To me, going on something like this, it's 90% about the trip there, getting there. How you doing, buddy? The people you meet. One more. Here he comes. See him, see him, see him? And catching a big fish like that was just the icing on the cake. Oh! Boy, that's what we came up here for, huh?
That's what we came up here for, Seth.
And I think people go through them stages differently in life. You know, I have friends and it's all about catching the fish that makes the trip. Thank you, sir.
Oh, you're welcome.
It's like taking a deep breath, you know, take it all in, and that was definitely one place that's
Hold them up to me a bit. There you go.
a top 10 place to go. Northwestern Ontario, Dogtooth Lake. They just don't make them everywhere like that.
How about walleyes over 18 pounds have officially come out of this lake? And numerous fish that are 12, 13, 14, 15 pounds over the years. As well as smallmouth, and there's pike, and there's lake trout, and there's a few splake. It's a great place to fish.
Oh, nice fish.
Nice fish.
What exactly is the measure of a trophy walleye? And how many did we catch on our second Dogtooth adventure of last year? Well, truthfully, none of the big walleyes and I connected this time around, though I did catch plenty of walleyes and came in close contact with a dandy smallmouth, which I dearly loved.
Oh, he's a nice one.
I'm telling you.
Oh, wow.
That's a big one.
Our first trip in May at Dogtooth yielded bigger numbers of quite larger walleyes, but there are so many variables as to why that may have been the case that it's not really worth discussing. One thing is for certain, I couldn't recommend Dogtooth Lake Resort more for those of you who simply love to fish and enjoy the incredible Ontario experience. And of course, if it's trophy walleyes you're after, you'll prove to yourself, just as I have, that Dogtooth is a very good place to go. Complete packages are available to suit your every need, and trust me when I say you'll be in the best of hands. I guess we really never did narrow down the answer to exactly what the measurement of a trophy walleye is. Well, my answer is that a trophy is any walleye that's big enough, fights hard enough, or for whatever reasons, creates an experience that somehow reaches into the core of that angler's desires and touches it, whatever the size. Up at Dogtooth, we most certainly caught plenty of walleyes that deeply accomplished that. I'm Babe Winkelman. Thanks so much for watching, and until next time, everybody, hey, good fishing.